Today's episode is brought to you by Hidden House Coffee. Go check out their locations here in Orange County, California, or get some coffee delivered to your house at hiddenhousecoffee.com. Hey guys, welcome back to the Good Dude, Good Dad podcast. I'm Jordan, and I'm in my Hey, I Messed Up podcast space. So in this episode, I messed up the audio for about the first minute of the podcast. Ben does most of the talking anyway, but if you can bear with us for that first minute, I figure it out and get it resolved. We hope you enjoy this episode, get some great nuggets out of it, and as always, be a good dude, be a good dad. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Good Dude, Good Dad podcast. I'm Jordan.
And I am Ben, and we have no guest today.
No guest. It's just us, dude.
For the first time in...
like 3 months.
Dude, it's been crazy. We were reminiscing this morning at one of the coffee shops, having a coffee and some man time. And we were saying, like, dude, you look through our guest list, and it's pretty stinking cool. Lots of vast experiences of life. Yeah. Lots of different parts of life, jobs, cities, where you live, what you do, what you believe. And I think it's been really refreshing for us. But today we have something that one of our wives said we should talk about, which is actually, I feel like, right on topic for this season of life that we're both in. And but what's something super exciting is Jordan's going to be working on, and I'm saying it's Jordan because it ain't me, because I have no idea how to do it. The next couple weeks, what we're thinking about doing is spending some time and really kind of deep diving into the old episodes and creating like a fun, Cliff Notes highlight reel of some of the guests that we've had, because I feel like there's a lot of information. Yeah. There's a lot of value. There's a lot of story. I've listened to a couple of them. I listened to one from like 2 months ago, and I was like, oh, shoot, dude, I don't even remember hearing that or seeing that, or was I even in the room?
Yeah. Mentally, it depends on the week, because we might have been just so freaking exhausted that we weren't in the room.
So true. Like, did I have RBF that day? Did I not? Did my wrinkle go away? Did it not? You good?
I think this entire time I wasn't even on my proper microphone.
Hello.
Whatever. It's fine.
I'm number 2. That's number 1?
This is number 1.
Dang. It's like we haven't done this before.
It's okay. It'll pick up. If my audio sucks in the beginning, I said like 2 things.
And I talked a lot.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
No, you didn't talk a lot. You talked the right amount that you should have. Yeah, we've the caliber of guests we had. I mean, we've had great guests before. It was all people that we knew, and then it just so quickly spiraled into this. Not spiraled, just blew up into this thing that we had just a string of guests that were completely foreign to us and new, and just reaching out to people and people catching on to the vision. And it's always something that we wanted to do. Yep. But we just didn't know that it was going to happen that quickly. So it's actually kind of nice to scale back a little bit and do one that's just us talking, because that's kind of how we started.
Yeah. And just to be real with our listeners, like, obviously we want guests. Like the podcast is built to have people share their stories.
100%.
I mean, we just said it in
literally a commercial.
The commercial that you probably heard, but we believe like every guest does have a story. Every person have a story. Like, whether you think you have a story or not, you probably have a story. Every single human on this freaking planet has a story. And it's just a matter of us being able to have people share those in hopes of it impacting you. I mean, dude, the guests that we've had have just, it was such a huge growing season for myself personally. I know you feel the same way, but just listening and responding and learning new things, and just being open to the idea of some of these things we've learned or heard, or made me just reconsider things like mental health. Yeah. Like, I've never been, and this is not like a knock, but I've never really focused on mental health, because I had always just thought, if I'm strong up here in my mind, I have like Jesus in my life guiding, I have a support group, you're good. And so for me, I was like, I just didn't understand it. And yeah, that's naive of me. Maybe I sound stupid, but I also don't think I just really thought about it. I didn't give it the space that it required to think about it. I was so quick to dismiss. And over the course of the last like several months, we've just been hearing story after story of guys dealing with things that are real, they're heavy, they're hard. And one of the most common things I think we learned is how alone people felt. And that to me is, I think, what really made me be like, oh shoot, dude, like you've been super naive. You've been kind of a turd and so quick to dismiss that. Like you guys are sitting here talking about not being alone. And for years of my life, I was just like, oh, that guy's soft. And I've learned like, actually, no, dude, like it's just it's a real thing that some people happen to just be a little better equipped to deal with than others. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I didn't give it the space.
I think everyone also feels it different, because I remember hearing you once, and I think you were just going through it was a really tough season for you.
Yeah.
And I remember you being like, you said it jokingly, you're like, I just feel like I'm a lone wolf by myself.
Yeah.
And I gave you such a hard time about it. And I was like, really? You're all by yourself? Huh? That's funny. I'm sitting right here.
Well, I was by myself.
But no, but it's everyone feels that sometimes in a different way. I mean, what's actually really funny, I remember we were a guest on a podcast really early on, and it was like a whole therapy-based podcast, and they were like, hey, like, have you guys done therapy? And we were both like, hell no, and both of us had even like, I don't think I'll ever do therapy. Yeah. And funny enough, I haven't even told you that I did a therapy session for the first time ever this last week on Monday. I did like a phone call one, just because it was funny, because I was just been through this process. I mean, we've had doctors on, we've had people that cut homeless people's hair for free, we've had Green Berets, we've had business owners, all these different people, and I was just like, how can I continue to talk about all these different things if I haven't even tried it? So I was like, yeah, let's give it a go. And it actually was a lot different than I ever thought it was going to be. It just so happened I wasn't a huge fan of my therapist, but that's okay. Like I might actually try somebody else. And it's not cause I feel like, it sounds weird. It's not cause I feel like I need therapy, but I feel like I'm not qualified to continue to talk about it without at least trying it. So, yeah, dude, it's this podcast has been so fun because it also has changed my perspective on things, just like you were saying.
Yeah.
Where before I would have been like, nah, dog. And now I'm like, well, who knows? I don't know.
And if it works for you. And I think that's what I'm most realizing is if it helps you and it's something that gets you through to that next level to better yourself, then why should I think it's weird?
Yeah.
I don't think it's weird. I've
just never been your thing.
Yeah, never thought about it. Never gave it the space. But so yeah, we're excited. We'll put those clips together for the next couple weeks. And what we're going to talk about today, though, hopefully I don't butcher how she said it, but something along the lines of, as men and women, just as people wanting to provide for your family, we so often are working our butts off to the point where it's like, I gotta work hard, put my head down, budget, save money. That way, when summer hits, we can go and drop 10 grand on this vacation to go to Disney World with my family. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put my head down, bury myself in work until summer, or until that vacation, or until the next trip. But what if we were to shift our mindset to not worrying about that as much and actually showing up every single day in the daily things, the little things, the monotonous things? What would it look like if we did that? If we, as providers, whether you're a stay-at-home dad or you're a work dad, as providers, or you're a stay-at-home mom or you're a work mom, as providers, what if we shifted a little bit and not trying to focus so much on those big, like fancy, flashy items and focused on the daily show ups? Like, what would it look like? And like a little bit for me personally, the last couple months have been long. We closed a business, fully gutted it, remodeled it, reopened it in like a 6.5, 7 week time span. And it's not the physical work that was draining. It's the behind the scenes that people don't see, right? or unless you've experienced it, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to, and this is not, I'm not saying everyone understands what it's like to not be able to have enough money to be able to provide, right? Or to know, like, shoot, man, like, how am I going to pay this bill? Or how are we going to go to this dinner? Or how are we going to buy this? How are we going to do that? How are we going to keep up with the Joneses? All those things. But what I was going through myself, speaking just for myself, because I feel like us sharing what we're going through is kind of some of the point of this, right?
Yeah.
But going through these thoughts and these ideas where you do feel alone sometimes, even though I know I'm not. I have a huge support group. You've been one of them, Jordan, but like you've gone through a lot of this with me, my wife, like my dad, like just all these people. But when you're alone in your room, feeling alone, my wife was obviously sleeping at 3 a.m., just waking up with your heart freaking racing, trying to figure out, hey, dude, you got this construction bill of, 15 grand due tomorrow. You have 5 grand in your business account. Like, what do you do? Or, hey, you just closed out this one thing, but you owe all these vendors X, Y, and Z, and you feel as if you have no help. You get woken up at 2:00, and then you keep going through the cycle, right? And then you go through your day and put on this front and act like nothing's wrong, right? Because it's no one else's problem. It's mine. I chose to do this, right? So, like, I'm not sharing this with y'all to be like, feel bad for me. But the weight and severity sometimes of being a business owner obviously directly impacts your personal life. It impacts your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, spiritual health. It affects everything. And we just came out even of a gnarlier season, like lawsuits and all that other crazy stuff. And it's just been a long freaking like 6, 7, 8
year, at least a year.
Well, just shy 10 months. I'd say 10 months specific, where it was like, ugh. But all that to say, of showing up for these little things every day becomes a lot more challenging, and I think trying to find outlets or tools or resources to be able to help you navigate those things is what's important,
right?
And I think that's why my wife was talking about, like, what if as men specifically, she was saying, what if we shifted that mindset into showing up daily? Don't worry about the big one flashy, right? Worry about the daily. And again, what does that look like? It could be different for every single person. For me, through that season, and the reason why I shared all that is there were so many days where I ended up getting home and I was there, but I wasn't there, right? Like I was there. I was still, trying to show up for my kids, show up for my wife, but not to the level that I'm accustomed to, and not to the level that my kids are accustomed to now, and that my wife is accustomed to. And that's because I worked my butt off to build that baseline. And so when I wasn't hitting that baseline, it was felt, and it was felt by my kids. It was felt by my wife. It was felt by you. It was felt by so many people, where you create this baseline and you're so used to hitting it and achieving it and going above it that when you finally are like at a place where you're not you, or you're not performing at that level, people are like, wait a second, and it's like, again, like, unless you are in it and dealing with it, the weight of stuff, man, it can literally creep in and destroy and plant these little seeds in all areas of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so, like, if that came across as me not giving my kids as much attention as they deserve,
yeah,
then that is a reflection on what I need to work on. And I'm rambling a lot, but
no, it sounds, heavy as the crown, right? Or was it heavy as the crown, or the head on it doesn't, whatever it is. When you're in that position of leadership like that, and you are the one that everyone relies on, you can't, I get what you're saying. You can't really share that burden necessarily with
it's
anyone
no one
else.
else's burden to share.
Not only that is that, unless you have a really close friend with a similar business that has been through it, or like a mentor with a similar business that has been through it, you're not going to have the same level of understanding.
Yeah.
So like me, like I have gone through some very financially hard times. I can relate to the part of waking up at 3 a.m, stressed out how you're going to make
For
bills.
sure. Yeah.
Because I've done that multiple times. I still have moments like that, but to have that compounded on top of, it's not just my bills, it's other people's life.
Yeah.
And knowing the kind of person that you are, that's a really heavy bag to carry.
Yeah.
And then not only that, it sounds like what you're saying is when you've done a very good job. I think this is one thing that we're both very good at, and part of the reason why we started this podcast is we are very intentional dads, and we're trying to be very present dads in our household, and we have set a very high bar for what our family expects out of us because of that level of presence.
What they think is normal.
What they think, which they're so unused to what, most people, their normal is way different than everyone else's normal, that when you fall into these moments where you're having to get into a grind and you're mentally exhausted and you're just not, like you said, you're not hitting that standard, they all notice it.
Yeah.
Which is, man, twofold, such a blessing and such a curse, because it's like, man, how like I can, there's times where I get frustrated with Caitlin, where I'm like, I'm not hitting that standard, right? And she's like, where are you? Where you been? I'm like, what do you mean, where am I been? You want to go on vacation?
Yeah.
You want this house? You want, I have to bust my butt to get us all these things, and I've gotten mad at her and I'm like yelled before, which isn't a good dude or a good dad. But it's raw. Where I've yelled, I'm like, well, what do you mean? Where do you think this all comes from?
Yeah.
Like, I have to do this in order for this to happen. You signed up for this. Get on board,
Yeah.
And looking back at it now, I'm like, well, that's because I set a very high standard for our household of a present, loving husband and father. I don't know how to navigate that, and I feel that too. I don't know how to navigate that yet, but I also know that I'm damn sure that I am proud of that standard that I set.
For 100%.
And it's like, if I don't hit it and my family feels it, it's like, okay, cool. Now this is a new thing I got to learn how to tackle is, manage all those stressors on top of managing their thing, but also knowing the fact that I'm just a man and I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
And, I need to do better of talking to my wife in those moments and going, hey, I'm going to be at the moment right now, like, because I love the phrase, marriage is not 50-50, it's 100-100.
Yeah.
But there are moments where it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hit my 100, so I need you to help me pick up the slack a little bit, or remind me. Now I'm rambling.
No.
But I'm gonna go back real quick. I love what you're saying though, but that's part of being a present dad is it's so easy to get caught up in like, okay, well, I'll get out of this mindset once we hit the vacation.
Yeah.
And then that'll be the time that I make up for all this time that I'm not being the level I should be at.
Yeah.
Where it's like, instead of doing that, being the present dad every single day, day in and day out, leads to, like, you can't water a plant once a year and expect it to grow. Mm-hmm. I feel it's the same way with your family. You got to water it daily, or, little bits.
If you think about it too, is like, we're not like talking about this from a perspective of like, oh, look at us, we set this such a high bar. It's just what we chose to do. And I think if you're in a place where you don't know what that bar looks like because you didn't have an example, or you just don't know, like, that's okay. But it's just like a lot of our guests have talked about creating little habits that compound over time, little things that can help you get to that next level. And when my wife asked us to like talk about this, it was because of the season she just saw me go through, and it wasn't like a, hey, this is directed at you, but she also knows like speaking about these things is such a real thing. All of her mom friends right now that she talks with, from wherever they're from, whether, wherever they're from and what they're going through, it's a similar thing where everyone is just kind of nose down work, right? Oh, but we got the one vacation this summer, so we're going hard until that, or we're going hard until we can pay these bills, or we're going hard until X, or we're doing a remodel in our kitchen, so my husband's picking up extra stuff. We're cutting this out, we're cutting that out. We're going hard. And the question she asked was just like so simple, but it was so awesome of like, why don't we talk about the dailies instead of the big? We always talk about, small, attainable, achievable goals, SMART goals, right? Like something that's still relative. There's still a sense of time. There's still a sense of urgency. There's a metric there that can be measured, but you hit these SMART little goals in order to accomplish that big goal. Like you can't expect yourself to perform at a level that is just constantly like top notch, full throttle, redlining every single day without something breaking. And this last season for me specific it's just been crazy. Because I feel like I am in this hamster wheel of just like work, come home, be present, not as present sometimes, more present other times, but just not a consistent like I normally would like to be. And then, it starts to impact things and it starts to wear on you and it starts to just show its head in other ways. And, showing up daily is something simple. Like for me, a daily thing is when I get home, I'm home, right? Try to be as present as I can, be with the kids, do dinner, clean the house, do all these things, rush off to jiu-jitsu versus getting home, sitting on the couch for like 10 minutes that turns into 30 minutes. And then before you know it, you're like so tired that you don't want to do anything. And it's just like those little things, but showing up daily. Like what would it look like if we chose as providers to show up daily?
So what do you think a practical step would be to, if like, let's say looking hindsight back on this last few months,
yeah,
right? What would you have done differently? And it's, again, this is hindsight.
Mm-hmm.
What would you have done differently to help shut that off and be a little more present at home?
That's a great question, Mr. Jordan.
While you're thinking about that real quick, I think I'm thinking back to a little bit of the conversation that we had about balance, that, we were saying that there is a balance. It's just the balance that you choose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm kind of looking at it is that maybe we both hit a season, or you hit a season where it was like, this is the balance for right now. And we just accepted it versus looking at that balance and going, is this the balance that I want to have?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, I'm curious if maybe you might not even have it today, is to reflect on like, what would you have done differently in that last season if you had the opportunity to?
Yeah. No, I mean, there's honestly, and I don't mean this in a lame way, there's not much I would change, to be honest.
No,
like
100%.
There's a couple, but there's not much. One big change I would have done was prioritize my health more.
Yeah.
Instead of running on fumes because I wasn't giving my body what it needed.
Mm-hmm.
Example, exercising. I was still training jiu-jitsu. Yes, I've still been like exercising in my garage, but they were like, some of them were pathetic workouts, or I would show up to jiu-jitsu, but I'm not even like I'm just there going through the motions.
Checking a box.
Yeah. Like, because it's a big thing to me, right?
Yeah.
Like I talk about like, I have these things that I hit, but if I'm just there and I'm not even like doing my body justice or my ability justice, it was just a check in a box. So I think one of the things I would change during that season is to prioritize my health first, because that could have potentially given me the energy to sustain the rest of the crap. Because I didn't change much in these areas. I just was giving less. Like, so instead of giving 100, I was giving 40, which for me it's not an excuse, but I would justify, I'm still doing this. It's not like I just was, getting home and just being like, I'm going up in my bedroom, I'm depressed, closing the blinds and turning off. No, I was still getting home, but instead of jumping into like crazy fun dad mode, I needed like 30 minutes. I needed an hour. You know, some days I needed just the whole afternoon, you know, which is fine. And you're going to go through that. We're not saying don't go through that. But so I think if I would have been prioritizing my health more, like I have been this last month, I think I would have been able to get through some of it. I think talking to my wife a little bit more, in regards to the stressors I'm feeling, could have probably been something I did better. I was open, obviously. I mean, she's my wife. We share everything, right? She knows my passwords to everything. She knows we have bank account. Like, it's all one thing. She doesn't have access to the bank accounts for the business because she obviously doesn't pay the bills, right? I mean, she could obviously log in
if you want them.
I mean, she could. I know she could log in. She knows. But I think I could have been better at really highlighting to her the severity of where we were at.
Yeah.
Or where we've been at. And not in a way, I think I didn't want her to know because I didn't want her to worry. Like, that was I chose to carry that on my own.
I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on that lately.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure where I stand on that. To be real, like, I feel like our wives need to know.
Yeah.
But to a certain extent, it is our job to also protect our family from certain aspects of life. So, and this is actually, I'm bringing this up because it's been something that's been popping through my brain lately. I'm like, yeah, how much is
too much or not enough?
Too much? Yeah.
I think we do have a sense,
because we don't want to overburden our wife either.
I do think we genuinely have the responsibility to carry some of that.
Yeah.
And so when I'm saying I would go back and change some of it,
yeah,
I would.
That was a side tangent. I'm sorry.
No, that's very relevant because it's true, right? Like, when I did share some of it with her, she literally was like, "Oh my gosh, well, now I'm not doing enough to help provide." And I was like, that was not the point of me talking to you about this.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm talking to you about it because you wanted to know. And I didn't even share fool's amounts. I just gave a snapshot. And I did it also because she was trying to figure out where we can maybe adjust or change. But I fully believe as the provider in my home, it is my job to carry most of that. It's also my job as a provider and an equal partner to share where we are going. And it's not, quote unquote, lying or not just choosing to say stuff. There's no need for both of us to feel that.
Right.
Why? Like, unless I'm at a breaking point and I'm going to freaking like combust, which I'm not, I think it is our job to shelter our families from some of that. 1,000,000%. And you can debate me all day long. Like, I don't care. Like, why have two people waking up at 3 a.m.? Like, why? What would the point be in that, Well,
not only that, we have different, at least how we structure out, we have different roles in our household. Like, my wife, I mean, I help out with the kids, I help out with dinner, we help clean, all that kind of stuff. But my wife is the primary caretaker, of our kids.
That's what they've chosen to do. Yeah.
Right. And so I need her to be able to focus on her job, because if she's focusing on me and what we're going through, she's not giving her job 100%.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then that doesn't allow me to give my full attention where it needs to go either.
Yeah. And I think that's a great point you brought up, though, because I don't like gender roles and stuff like that. Some guys do, some are big on that. It's like, for me, my wife is genuinely my partner. Right. She is everything to me. She is equal in every way. She is 100%. Better in every way than 100%. Me. I'm just designed and wired a little differently when it comes to being able to carry these extra things. I want to carry these extra things for my family. I want to be able to have those burdens so she doesn't have to have them. She has the burdens of trying to wrangle our 3 children every single day on the days where it's like, dude, I got nothing to give. She's got nothing to give. And she still has to show up every single day. Like, that in itself is weighing, right? Like, I want to carry everything I possibly can so she doesn't have to.
100%.
It doesn't mean she can't. I chose to do this so she doesn't have to.
Right.
You know, and her wanting to help and help share and help carry. That's why I chose to to have those conversations of like the severities, the not severities. I don't want to like make it seem like this is crazy, but dude, being a business owner, if you've been one, you understand like the weight, right?
Mm.
Like and again, I'm a firm believer in it's nobody's freaking business to have to feel the weight that I feel.
Mm.
I chose it, right? And I own it, but it weighed on me. You know, the moments of, let's say you got 50 people relying on you every single 2 weeks. Doesn't matter if you had 2 weeks of slow business or 2 weeks of amazing business. Every 2 weeks, those 50 people need to get paid.
Mm.
Every first of the month, those landlords got to get paid. You know, weekly, those vendors got to get paid. All of these responsibilities and weights that you go through, and it's ups and downs, and there's positives and negatives, but they get to you. I don't care who you are, they get to you. The weight of business gets to you. The weight of customers thinking they can dictate things that you do. Staff thinking they can dictate things they can do. People that don't even have any freaking involvement in your business thinking they can dictate what you do. It's like everyone wants to be able to have a seat. Everyone wants to be able to dictate, but no one's wanting to carry that damn weight, right? And again, this isn't a sob story. This is just real. This has been my life for the last 15 years, right? And I'm not saying it to have you be like, oh, well, poor him, or like I didn't tell him to do that. I'm sharing it because it's real, man. Like it doesn't matter if you have a $20,000 a year business or you have a $5 million a year business. The problems are the same. The weights are the same. They're just different. We've talked about that numerous times where it's relative, right?
Yeah.
My position that I'm in currently when it comes to finances and the size of our company is now relative to 10 years ago when I was going through some of these same exact things. But instead of it being this dollar amount, back then maybe it was, shoot, man, where am I going to get $1,000?
Yeah.
You know, but it's
the same amount of pressure.
Yeah, the weight's there.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's, I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah,
because we do have, I mean, we both know personally a lot of business owners that listen to this, and I'm sure they go through, I mean, I know they go through similar stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily get to talk about all the time. You know, and also just like taking this whole thing to just a day-to-day person's, like I'm going to peel it all the way back to like just everybody. If you're going into, back to the original we were talking about, you're just grinding out trying to get to that vacation. If you're going into that vacation and your family is all on empty, you know, like your love tank with you and your wife is on empty. Your kids are, you know, at the edge of the rope, you know, with you already because you've just been unbearable and a grouch. You know, if everyone's going into this vacation, this supposed like vacation relax time, and everybody's on empty, what kind of freaking vacation is that going to be?
And it's not real. It's not sustainable.
It's
because
not
what's going to
real.
happen is you're going to fill a little, right? You might go from empty to half tank.
Yeah.
And then you go back to life and you're like, frick, dude, we just spent all this money. Back
Now
to the
we're
grind.
back at it. Yeah.
And so I'm super thankful Devin thought of this. And it's because we're currently going. We're going on a vacation. Right. And we were stressing, and thankfully, Dad, Mom, we love you. Like they paid for this trip that we're about to go on.
Right.
And I'm still stressing
because
all these responsibilities that I'm leaving for these 2 weeks, I'm just like, frick, dude, like, I mean, I have like people like you to like literally help me out and pick up and just share in that. But the financial,
it's not the same.
Well, and the financial components though for this trip, I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And even still, you know, I got to get the cars fixed. I got to do these things. I got to go. We got to buy groceries, like all these things. But all that to say is like, what would it look like? You listeners, me and Jordan, our wives, everyone that is hearing this, just think about it for a second. Genuinely take a second. If you're listening, if you're driving, just hit pause and think about what would it look like if we shifted our minds to be able to stop focusing on these big diamonds and start focusing on the little nuggets every day. Like, what would it look like in our homes? What would it look like in our work lives, our relationships as parents, as spouses, as friends? Like, what would it look like if we started focusing our time and energy on the dailies versus the big win? I'm not saying don't focus on a big win.
Yeah.
Big wins, I am a full believer in. We work our butts off 24/7. Get what you get. Like, get out there, take that freaking vacation, but enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because like Jordan said, if you're going into it empty, that vacation is just this false sense of like joy. And that's going to turn into turmoil in every other area of your life. And I'm glad I just went through this last season. And I'm going to humbly brag about myself, because even though I was going through all of these things, I have put so much work into myself over these last like several years where I didn't hit a breaking point. Yeah. I wasn't me in all areas every day. You know, like Jordan told me about a month ago, I've been not being very nice to him lately, and he's just been very sensitive. But anyways,
I have been very sensitive,
super sensitive, and I am not sensitive.
I'll talk about it in therapy.
That is a bad combo. I am not a sensitive person. I'm working on it. I genuinely am. But I had to apologize to him because I was like, damn, dude, I'm very quick to just be like, oh, light switch off. Like, and everyone says they can do that, but I don't think very many people can do it. And I honestly, dude, it's just, it's what I'm conditioned. It's how I have been conditioned from 18 to now. We've talked about it. I have been in go mode. I've been in driver's seat, go mode, high adrenaline, high freaking stress the whole time. So I had to learn and teach myself to be able to flip a switch. Is it healthy? No.
Yeah.
But I'm working on it.
I needed to give you more grace because, you know, there's those 3 a.m. wake ups and a lot of the other pressure and everything that was going on. And also, you know, we had spent a crap ton of time together, more than we normally do.
Yeah, no, I'm not hanging out with him
anymore. Doing construction stuff, and then this stuff, and then that stuff, and then this stuff, and then that stuff. And it's, you know, you're one of, if not my best friend. So we were joking around. I'm like the little brother he never wanted. I'm like he's like the older brother I never wanted. But you know, no kidding.
It's true.
It's a pleasure to be able to do life with you and your family.
Same, dude.
And to have these conversations and to have this podcast and to talk through stuff. It's actually a lot of fun for us because we get to talk through things that we normally wouldn't think about.
And we wouldn't have talked about this today. There's no way. I would have never shared.
No, I love
drowning.
That she brought this up.
Yeah, like, dude, one last like true nugget. Like, I feel like I have been drowning since last August. If you want the exact time frame, August till now, it's July. That's almost 1 year that I have felt like I have been drowning. And yet 99% of the people that I have probably encountered had zero clue. Is that healthy? It's not. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, and what we want for this podcast to be, is a resource and a platform and a place where guys and girls can go to get some form of like something to help better themselves. Because I'm telling you right now, if I wouldn't have spent so much time working on myself, developing my ability to deal with stressors, my ability to prioritize, my ability to, like Jordan and I have worked our butts off, be a present dad and a present husband, this last season could have been enough to potentially wipe me out. It could have.
100%.
You know, I went, just so you guys know, and Jordan went through a lot of this with me, but again, it carries a little differently.
100%.
Because it was directed at me.
Dude, 100% differently.
But I went through a few lawsuits, went through a business that wasn't being able to support itself, and all the other things that go along with that business, deciding to close a business, deciding to open a business, financial things that were supposed to come through didn't come through. Like, we were right before we were recording on a phone call with something that we thought was already going to happen, and it hasn't happened.
Months and months ago.
Yeah. And so it's just like these things, like spiritual warfare. If you were a believer, you'll get it. Like, the enemy wanting to creep in your lowest points and be like, yo, dude, you should probably just stop. Like, you're not good enough. Like, you've been doing it a long time. Clearly you're not good enough, right? Or there's a reason you gained 20 pounds, bro. Like, you're not what you think you are. And then you start to maybe believe that. But if I wouldn't have been putting this work in to combat that, dude, it could have genuinely crushed me. And the weirdest part is this isn't even the hardest season I've gone in my life, which is ironic, but I'm sharing these things because there's some of you listening that probably feel like you're drowning, or that you've been in this place and you don't know how to get out, or this is the worst it's going to get. I'm sorry to say it to you, but it could always be worse. Someone probably does have it worse. And it's a matter of how we're dealing with what you're going through that's going to get you out, right? And yeah, I'm humbly bragging about myself because it took me a long time to be able to get here.
Yeah.
It genuinely took me forever. And I still did not do the job I wanted to do in some areas of my life. And that's okay. I'm learning from them. I'm changing them. I took back my health.
Yeah.
I've lost 9 pounds in the last 5.5, 6 weeks. I'm clearer in my mind than I have been in a long time. My marriage with my wife is fantastic. She is that true partner that I need to be able to force me to have these conversations.
Yeah.
And I have fantastic friends like yourself. I have amazing support groups that have rallied around me. And the biggest takeaway that I want to share is I was being open to having that.
Yeah.
Versus the last season I went that almost was enough to take me out. It did take me out for a little bit in 2020. I didn't have the ability to process myself. I sheltered it. I tried to suppress it, try to put it down in there. I was like, it's my burden. No one else's. Versus now I'm like, it's still your burden.
Right.
It still is nobody else's. But these people can help you, and they want to help you, and they want to pour into you. And I need to be willing to let that happen, because if I don't, then things are going to break. And
I love what you just said, man. That's one thing that I love that I really like about our friendship, and it's something that I took away pretty early because it's something that I also do. When everything's kind of going to crap, we try to pull a diamond out of it.
Yeah.
You know, where it's no, seriously, it's always oh man, the whole place is falling apart. But I love it because there's always every time that you and I talk about something bad, and I love it because we always throw a but in there. We're but this is the positive out of it.
Yeah.
It's hey, this season was crap, but the fact that my family felt that my presence wasn't 100% shows that I am a really good dad.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of really great stuff and working on my marriage. My wife says, felt it, which means that, outside of the season, I am putting in the work in my marriage. But, last time I went through something very similar, and I had no support group. I had no friend group. And now I put the effort, the time, and all that into having this so that when we went through something similar this go around, it didn't hit me the same way that it hit me last time. It might have knocked me down, but I didn't stay down as long.
Yeah.
And it's those little things. It's life's going to kick you in the teeth. But if you're learning from it every single time, it feels like that. Yeah, that kick, you come back a little quicker.
Yeah.
You know?
It did, dude. And it shows the growth that I've had since the last 100%. One that this had. Because first of all, if you know me, we joke around a lot, but I don't like talking about myself. I am in the background a lot of the time, especially when it comes to the businesses. You would never know I own the stuff that we own. It just, it doesn't come out. My wife actually makes fun of me for it.
100%.
Or Anthony just brought this up at jiu-jitsu the other night. We all went to a big coffee show, and I wrote janitor on my badge.
I love that you tell people constantly that you're the dishwasher.
It's just, I don't know. I'm just, I'm not great at receiving things. And so again, that shows growth. I know I kind of bragged about myself, but that, if you know me,
you can do that.
I would have never done that. I get so awkward and uncomfortable, but you better freaking believe I'm proud of myself in this season. I'm not proud of everything I did, for sure. I had to apologize to Jordan. I've had to apologize to my wife. I've had to apologize to my kids. I've had to apologize to some staff, my parents. But the difference is they were these small little moments that were just so easily fixed by me being able to put my pride aside and be yo, I messed up. I'm wrong. My bad. And being able to hear it. That was another thing. When Devin called me out on some of the stuff, and And she used these little subtle jabs, which I typically do too. But she's like, oh, present dad, huh? You're on your phone. What are you doing? I'm like, you know what, Devin? I don't want to hear it.
Mind your own damn business,
right?
woman. Let's get.
I'd be like, she's like, oh, Instagram. That's really useful right now. And I'd be like, oh shoot, you're not wrong. But just being willing to be able to receive it, hear it. I mean, in the moment, there was probably times I didn't respond so gracefully, but then being able to be like, dang, dude, I'm so sorry, Dev, you're right. Or to my daughter, Dad's just on his phone now. And I'm like, pull her aside and be like, I have been on my phone. Not wrong. And I am sorry. And, giving her the space to be able to like call me out was kind of like something really cool. Cause she was like, wait, but Dad, you always told me when you're on the phone, leave you alone. Cause it's like for work. I was like, you're right. But this is a great moment for myself and for you. And I was like, next time you see me doing that and it bothers you, just ask me, hey Dad, like, are you working? And I will be real and I'll be like, no, I'm not. And so she did it to me the other day. I was on my phone. I was just scrolling, the stupid social media scroll. She's like, hey Dad, are you working? And I looked at her and I was like, nope. Threw my phone down, Yeah, man, I feel like I talked most of this. I'm sorry, but
No, this is great. Are you kidding me? That was awesome.
It's guys, I'm sharing it to be really open and to be honest and to let you know it's okay to not have it all freaking figured out all the time.
100%.
And to just be able to learn from it. Like I'm putting in the work again now. I got off when I was going through the season. I got off of my 5 a.m. wake ups and time with Jesus. And what did it do? It impacted my mood,
bro. That is quickly become a not. And I'm not saying this to like. I'm hearing what you said because that's quickly become a non-negotiable for me now.
And it should be.
Because the days that I don't, I am immediately feeling it.
Yeah. Well, and it's true. It's real.
Immediately feeling it. Yeah.
And if you're not a believer, those 5 a.m. wake ups, 6 a.m. wake ups, whatever it is, the routine you set for yourself, if you got off of it and you're feeling it, it's a sign to get back on it. And to get an accountability partner, that's what this stuff is for. That's why I'm freaking talking my brains out right now. I didn't even want to talk today. Here I am talking for 40 minutes.
Yeah, dude, bro, you were saying the whole day, oh, I don't want to talk.
I didn't want to talk. But guys, it's okay to not be okay. I know it sounds silly. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to not have it figured out. It's okay to be in a low point of your life. But what's not okay is picking yourself up, putting one step in front of the other and figuring it out. That's not okay. Being able to put your pride and your ego aside and be like, yo, Jordan, I need some help, dude. I'm drowning. I need help. Hey, spouse, wife, I need help.
Yeah.
Hey, kids, I haven't been as present as you normally are used to. That's going to change.
Yeah.
I need help in encouraging me. Or, hey, business partner, it's been real, but I need your help.
Yeah.
That's what matters. And that's my biggest takeaway from this season that I've been in. And dude, I know it sounds cheesy, but I'm feeling like charged. Like I don't even know what happened. There wasn't this like,
you're taking BioPro is what's happening.
I guess so. That's a natural segue. I don't know. There wasn't like this click. There wasn't this sudden event. I didn't go do ayahuasca and come back and magically be great. I didn't go on a vacation. I haven't done anything. I just have been showing up daily.
Yeah.
Because it's not like Devin just said this to me, right?
No.
It's been on and off since August.
Honestly, that's usually how it happens, is that it's rarely like an overnight switch. It's like something hits you and you go, oh, maybe they're right. Okay, I'm gonna start putting in the work.
Yeah.
And then you'll slack off a little bit and hit you again, and you're like, oh, they're right. And then that interest compounds, and all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, no, I'm feeling better now.
Yeah,
I'm feeling back to myself now. Okay, this is the rhythm I needed to be in. This is how I got off it. I mean, because it's like what we're doing right now. It's like exercising, right? You get jacked, you completely fall off, you get unfit again, and then you try to build that. Those first couple months, getting back to it, you usually feel like
crash.
Yeah, dude, you don't feel great. But then it compounds, and then the next thing you know, you're like, this is what I felt like again.
Yeah. And it's so refreshing.
It's so refreshing.
And I'm just, that's the importance of daily habits, guys. Like genuinely, my story right now
feel the same way.
is the importance of that. Everything I just shared, everything Jordan shared. I mean, I kind of hijacked and talked too much, but I just felt ready. I just felt, I feel ready. Like I'm so excited for this current season because we just came out of this weirdness.
Yeah.
And now we're going to a place where I'm like, oh, I refound like my spark. Like let's go, you know?
So a little summary, guys, like it's okay to have these seasons in your life where you're getting your teeth kicked in and you're feeling like you're down, as long as you don't stay down. You know, it's great to remember that even if you're an amazing dad and you're setting that bar really high, there's times where you might fall short. And what a privilege it is to be corrected by your family and them to notice when you're not at that same level. Learn from the times you've been down and put practices and things into place so that the next time a season like this comes around, it doesn't knock you out as hard. And last but not least, it's cool to be able, it's good to be able to admit when things aren't going the right way, ask for help, talk to people, reach out to a friend of yours, and just know that if you keep putting in the work and the discipline, eventually you're going to come back out on the other side feeling recharged and back after it. But it's going to take that compounding interest. I feel like that's
a
summary of what we talked about today.
100%. Appreciate you, dude.
No, dude, I appreciate you. Thank you guys for catching this episode. It's been super awesome just having us two again to be able to chat. We definitely need to do more of these. For the next 2 weeks, get prepared for some highlight episodes where I'm going to bring back some clips of Ben and I and our guest and all the amazing things that we talked about. As always, thank you to all our sponsors. All of them are listed down below. And remember, be a good dude, be a good dad.